students. I am your SSC teacher, Mrs. Manju Sharma, and today we are going to start our new chapter, Chapter 2, People as Resource in class 9th of Economics. The chapter, People as Resource, is an effort to explain population as an asset for the economy rather than a liability. Population becomes human capital when there is an investment made in the form of education, training, and medical care. In fact, human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in them. People as resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Looking at the population from this productive aspects emphasizes its ability to contribute to the creation of the gross national product like other resources. Population also is a resource, a human resource. This is the positive side of a large population that is often overlooked when we look only at the negative side. So, investment in the human capital through education, training, medical care yield a return just like investment in physical capital. This can be seen directly in the form of higher incomes earned because of higher productivity of the more educated or the better trained persons, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people. In fact, uh, human capital is in one way superior to other resources like land and physical capital. Human resource can make use of land and capital. Land and capital cannot become useful on its own without the help of human resource. Investment in human resource via education and medical care can give high rates of return in future. This investment on people is the same as investment in land and capital. We can take the example of the country Japan. Like Japan have invested in human resource, they do not have any natural resource. These countries are developed and rich. They import the natural resource needed in their country. And how did they become rich and developed because they have invested on people, especially in the field of education and health. These people have made efficient use of their efficiency, and the technology evolved by people have made these countries rich and developed. The various Now we will learn about the various activities, economic activities and activities done by men and women. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry, farming, mining, and quarrying. Manufacturing is included in secondary sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance are included in the tertiary sector. The activities in this sector result in the production of goods and services. These activities add value to the national income and the helpful to make our country developed. Now we will learn quality of population. The quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of country. Literate and healthy population are an asset for a country and will prove help themselves for the country. The first aspect of quality population is education. We saw education was an important input for the growth of a person. It opened new horizon for a person, provide new aspiration and developed values of life. Not only for a person, education contributes towards the growth of society also. It enhances the national income, cultural richness, and increases the efficiency of governance. And the next aspect is health. Health is the health of a person helps him to realize his or her potential and the ability to fight illness. He or she will not be able to maximize his or her output to the overall growth of organization. Indeed, health is an indispensable basis of realizing one's well-being. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of the population has been priority of the country. And the next is uh, the problem for a country is unemployment. Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. When a person wants to do some work but he or she is unable to find work, this is called unemployment. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. However, the nature of unemployment differs in rural and urban areas. In case of rural areas, there is a seasonal and disguised unemployment. Urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. In seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People dependent upon agriculture usually face such kind of problem. In case of disguised unemployment, people appear to be employed. They have agricultural plot where they find work. This usually happens among family members engaged in agricultural activity. The work requires the service of 5 people but engages 8 people, and there is no need for extra 3 peoples. These 3 peoples also work in the same plot as the other. The contribution made by the 3 extra people does not added to the contribution made by the 5 people, and this conditions is called disguised unemployment, and this unemployment mainly found in our urban area, rural areas. Now, after reading this chapter, we have seen how inputs like education and health helped in making people as asset for the economy, and the chapter also discusses about the economic activities undertaken in the three sectors of the economy. We also studied about the problem associated with unemployment. Finally, we end this chapter with the story of the village farmers, and they which who have no job but later had plenty. So we had so much to do to erase the unemployment and other problems of our country, so that we can make our country a developed country. So students, now we are able to understand the chapter thoroughly, and we will meet in next chapter in next video. Goodbye.